I was doing a little reflecting on what I want to happen with the channel. Um, I've always kind of done things just sort of, by the seat of my pants and just whatever pops into my head. And I got to make some changes. Hello and welcome to X Witness Week. I'm your host Jonathan. Hope you're doing well today. So, we're near the end of 2023, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a review of what's happened throughout the year and what's going to happen next year. So, yes, 2023 was an interesting year. This is the second year for my channel, about 2.5 years in at this point. And the Apostate Coalition channel, which I started that one as well, that's in its about 1.5 years on that one. So so far so good. Growth has been a little slower than I would prefer, so I'm going to make some changes, but I'll get into that shortly. So what happened this year? Well, a lot of stuff going on with Jehovah's Witnesses. We had a lot of news reports of unfortunate violence. We had Toni Morris being removed from the governing body, so that was fun. A lot of people covered that one. What else did we have?
Future Jonathan here. So we also had 2 new governing body members appointed and a change in the thinking about the people who are not Jehovah's Witnesses at the time of the Great Tribulation, that they can now have that opportunity to change on over. And let's not forget about beards. They are now A-OK.
Oh yes, New Light. New Light, and recently, this is later in the year, we have Jehovah's Witnesses no longer collecting their time, not in the traditional sense to where they had to account for everything that they did. Now they are just going to be checking off, or I guess they'll be doing it now, checking off the box saying they participated in the ministry, and that's good enough. So that's interesting. That urgency that they have, because the end is here any second now.
Shortly before the last day of the last days. I'm stupid.
So I guess it's not that important, I guess they came to the conclusion that it was not biblical to do that because nobody counted their time. But we all know as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that the real reason is because they're just bleeding membership. So they don't have as many people. The amount of hours in the field ministry has just plummeted. So I know, let's just hide the fact. So that's really the reason why you don't find them doing that anymore. Okay, so that's just some of the things that happened. I'm sure there were others, but that's not really what I was going for in this video anyway. So I was doing a little reflecting on what I want to happen with the channel. I've always kind of done things just sort of, by the seat of my pants and just whatever pops into my head. And, one week I might have a skit, and another week I might just have me telling a story, and another week I might have a short talking about cult tactics, and, it's just kind of all over the place. That's because I've always wanted to keep it as something I can just try new things and see what people enjoy and see what I enjoy. But in watching other YouTubers, TikTokers, that sort of thing in the XJW community, and watching their channels, not that I want to compare myself with other people because I have my own thing, and I'm not looking to be, Jake 2.0 or Wally 2.0 or Lloyd 2.0 or anything like that. But some things work and some things don't. So I think that it's important that at this stage of the game that I put a little more effort into things. I think that you as the audience deserve a little more planning and foresight. So while I'm still going to do these just sort of off the dome presentations, I feel it's important that I give you guys what you deserve. A little something I like to call advanced preparation and notes. And also, somebody that's maybe considering becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe they're studying, or just anybody who's interested and just curious. I want to present information that's going to be useful to them, that they can refer to as a source of information and a reference, as a resource rather. And I feel that to do that, I need to make it a little more interesting. So, for instance, there are some YouTubers that their style is very polished, or it's got a lot of editing. There's a lot of cuts, and it seems to work. I mean, they're doing pretty good as far as their following. And if I'm going to continue to be, I don't want to say prominent member of, but a member of the XJW community, I want to make sure that people are seeing what I'm presenting. So I got to make some changes. I gotta up my game, and that's what I'm going to do. So certain things that I'm going to change, such as I traditionally, for whatever reason, have always used my not my front camera. I've always used the other one because that way I can make sure I'm centering things. But I tend to do this and look off to the side. So I'm going to be more engaging. I want to be able to talk to you and actually have a connection with you, the viewer. What is that thing? Yeah, I'm going to cut out a lot of that stuff. A lot of the ums and uhs. I will do more editing so that it's a little more smoother. And, like right now, I'm actually sick. I have a cough drop so that I don't, my throat doesn't close up here when I'm trying to talk. But I want to make sure that there's not a lot of word whiskers and, filler, because I think that can sometimes be distracting and can make the flow slow down. So I want to do some better editing. I also want to do more skits. I used to be very active on TikTok, but I found that it was really sucking up all of my time to post, 3-4 times a day constantly. And it became an issue with balancing my time with my family, with my work. So I kind of dropped off on that, and I went to this longer form, which I do enjoy, but I kind of miss doing the goofy little skit stuff. And I think that is sort of the appeal that I had with certain viewers. So I want to kind of bring that back. So I have one that I did. Like I said, I'm sick, but I took advantage of that because in my skit, I'm sick. And I use that as a prop, if you will. So, but I want to be more prepared, more research oriented, and not just talk about things like, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to talk more about doctrinal things. Something that I've been wanting to look up is finding out more about this Jesus versus Michael the Archangel. We all know the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that, but it's not something that I really can remember exactly how that's supposed to work. So that will be a future video. I don't know when, but that's on the docket. I want to talk about different aspects of the ministry. I want to talk about things that just don't make sense in the Bible. Things that things that are interesting and things that will make people think, let's try that again. Things that will make people think and maybe think twice about studying with Jehovah's Witnesses or some other cult. Because it's been important to me in this whole journey of being a YouTuber, TikToker, whatever, that I help people. So that's another thing about, what I've accomplished in this year. I would accomplish, I don't know, have done, is I've had a lot more activity in the Discord. So I will put a link in there for the Discord if you're interested in joining that. We just had 4 or 5 people that joined last week, and Discords are kind of a funny thing. People sort of show up and they don't. It can be very active some days, and sometimes you don't hear anything for a while. So I like to keep things kind of hopping because it's important. We lost a lot of friends. If you're disfellowshipped, if you are disassociated, if you're faded, you don't have those people that you used to count as friends. And most likely you don't have family that used to count as family anymore. So we need each other. It's not the meeting, and I'm glad for that. So you can come when you want to, leave when you want to, it's fine. But we have that resource. So if you find you're having a bad head day and you need somebody to talk to, there's probably somebody there that will listen and talk to you, and you can message back and forth and just help you get through that hard time. So that's an important thing that I am proud of, that I was part of starting that community. I wasn't the only one. There was other people involved, but for the most part, I kind of pulled the trigger on the process and started the Discord. And I'm pretty happy about that. And also the Apostate Coalition channel. While I physically made the channel, there has been other contributors to the channel that have been great. James and Ryan do a show every week, Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they tell, excuse me, and there's the sick, where they, excuse me, where they talk about news about cults and, mostly JW stuff, but others as well. We've got a show on Thursdays at 10 p.m. where some go over the creation book, the Blue Evolution creation book, and it's pretty fun. So I hope you'll tune in for that. And occasionally I get to post things, and I'm hoping to have more people participating, as their heart leads them to do. So if you're somebody who wants to do that, please comment below, and I'll hook you up with a slot, if you will. We're kind of like the tiny version of Six Screens, if you want to think of it that way, where we can have some people do shows, and it's a good time. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, that going forward in the new year, I want to have better quality videos. So because of my lifestyle and my responsibilities and work and that sort of thing and family, I can't necessarily do a regimented schedule where I'm dropping something twice a week. It's just not feasible. If I was, say, a bachelor and I had nothing to do but work and YouTube, sure, yeah, I could do that. But it's just not something I could do, in all fairness to my family. So what I'm going to do is instead try and do better quality videos for you guys. And I'm hoping that will encourage other people to subscribe and to pass it on, and see where we can take this. We would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe to X-Witness Awake. So that is basically it. Also, if you're interested, I do have some designs that I've made. I've said before I'm not really promoting this, so every once in a while, I might just remind people that it's there. If you want to, I mostly made them for myself because then I can have them printed. And I had 4 shirts sent to myself the other day, and it's fun. But if anybody's interested, it's there for you. If not, whatever you like. Yeah. Anyway, that is it. So I will catch you next time, and have a great Christmas and New Year's if that's something you celebrate. And see ya in 2024. Bye now.
We would love it. We would love it. Would love it.